I've got the looks and the charm of an old movie star. Cary Grant, if you will, so I find it bizarre that this girl should refuse to step into my car. She must be shy, she'll come around, it's just a matter of time. Aurora, Aurora.
Hey there, movie fans, and welcome back to Screen Snark, a podcast all about the movies that are in our eyes, on our minds, and in our hearts. I'm taking it. It's fine. I hurt. I'm Rachel Quirky Shank.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon.
And I hurt. I've injured my back. So
My poor achy co-host.
I know. It's so uncomfortable. So I'm having a beer.
Everything's
and
terrible.
Trying to project and forgetting our intro.
It's all right.
And that's fine.
To be
and
fair,
you know
you
what?
intro all of the two podcasts you're on, so a lot rests on your shoulders.
Really hard. Yeah, and now my shoulders hurt.
See?
Literally.
Connections.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us once again. Back on our bullshit. Thank you, Matt Storm. That's it. Show's over. Bye. No, we are delighted as fuck, if I may say, to bring an incredible human, incredible guest. I met him as the first members of the Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. D-Mags. Is that okay? Should I call you D'Artagnan?
Either one is fine.
Either one.
D'Artagnan, I always simplify it because it ends up either being something off of the periodic table.
Yeah.
There's extra syllables that are added. I made it Dart. D is usually what goes on my coffee cup.
I forget what your rhyme was when we did class.
He had a rhyme for his name?
Like, did you do full D'Artagnan?
I probably spell it's a go-to. If I get stuck, that's definitely a safety net.
One of our icebreaker exercises for the first class we did of the Freestyle Love Supreme Academy was to like do a little couplet of our name. So like you'd be like, my name is Matt Storm, and I like hat forms. I don't know, just something silly to like get people into it. And I'm pretty sure you said D'Artagnan, and like your rhyme was so good. Because I was like, whoa, D'Artagnan. I thought I had a hard name to rhyme with. Because, like, nothing rhymes with Rachel.
That's true.
Except for, like, Bagel or something.
Bagel does rhyme with
Right,
Rachel.
but you can be like, I'm Rachel and I'm so playful. Or something that sounds like alliterative.
Something that ends up like a little...
Right.
Yeah. You can kind of stretch it.
D'Artagnan, mannequin.
Cro-Magnon.
And so was this Freestyle Love Supreme Academy, is that related to the show Freestyle Love Supreme and the performers?
Assuredly.
Oh, I figured as much. Yeah, I got to see that thanks to my wonderful spouse who I mention on the show all the time. After I fell in love with Hamilton, because she took me to this show that I was like... musicals, bah. Because I like musicals, but I'm like a one viewing kind of guy. I don't really get obsessed, but I'm a hip hop nerd and I'm a history nerd. And so I had no idea what I was in for and became obsessed. But after we saw that, about a year later, Lin-Manuel came back to Freestyle Love Supreme with the gentleman who plays George Washington, whose name I'm forgetting, Chris Jackson. And they were doing a special like 3-week something at Joe's Pub, and so we got tickets and we went, and it was unbelievable. It was awesome. And I just looked at it.
What's up, Freestyle Love Supreme? We love you.
And I looked at them and I was like, that's awesome. I wish I could do that, but I'm never gonna try.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a skill I have.
It was great fun.
Absolutely, and it's so interesting to see this one here because she has this kind of mild demeanor, and then once the light goes on, it's just like, wow. I was so amazed at the talent that burst from within. It was great.
I just have generalized human anxiety, and I know how to turn it off when it's time to do performy things.
It's true. Meeting you as a performer and then getting to know you as a person, I was like, oh, there is like a normal, non-showy human under there.
Yeah, somewhere. Good luck finding it, people of the internet.
People of the internet.
Because I'm doing this for you fuckers.
All right, before we get off the rails, I will rein us back in. And take us into our movies. For those tuning in for the first time, we always talk about the most recent movies each of us have seen, both hosts and our guest.
Yes.
I will start as I always do. And the most recent movie I saw was the sci-fi classic, The Masterpiece, John Carter.
In the Criterion.
And those of you who may be saying, well, what's John Carter? I don't blame you.
Yeah,
because John Carter is the worst marketed movie of ever movies.
And I really liked it.
I did
feel
too.
like it got a super bum rap.
So here's the thing about John Carter. For those who are not familiar, it is based on the book called Princess of Mars, and it's about a gentleman from the 50s, 60s, I think, who gets zapped to Mars, and because of his dense bone structure from Earth, becomes essentially superhuman. And then hilarity ensues and action ensues. And like, I remember seeing it in the theaters because it starred Taylor Kitsch, who had just been Gambit, I believe, or was going to be Gambit, but was like the current heartthrob of that time. And you know, the movie looked fun, and Willem Dafoe is playing a crazy alien, and I'll see him in just about everything. Right. And I was like, all right, this should be fun. And I remember going to see it in the theaters and having a good time. But the rewatch, oh man, like there's some stuff I forgave it for when I was a decade younger that I watched this time and I was
there
like...
was a few years that have passed since its initial release. Right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that I would say didn't age well, that probably wasn't aging well at the time. Like all of the flashback stuff, like, so in the initial story, the way that John Carter ends up getting warped to Mars is he gets taken in by the U.S. military. He was a Confederate soldier, which I'd forgotten, and was like, ugh. But he abandoned his post and all this other stuff, and so they brought him in with a random cameo role by Bryan Cranston. But when they're like escorting him and then he escapes, they run into Native Americans. See, I even almost said it the wrong thing because this is how they talk. They run into a bunch of Native Americans. Of course, a scared white soldier shoots one by accident. Battle ensues, and like it just feels... And like you hear, "Ah, yeah," and all the like hokey, really bad racist Native American nonsense. And I was like, this didn't need to be in this movie.
Yeah, I completely forgot that because in my recollection of this movie, it just starts with the crypt and the nephew shows up, and there's none of that nonsense.
So it does start with that, but the weird thing, so they the clever thing the movie does is it bookends the movie with his nephew and a plot line.
Who's Edgar Rice Burroughs? I think.
He's the kid from Spy Kids, I believe.
Yeah, but isn't he Edgar Rice Burroughs?
He's supposed to be, I believe.
Oh boy. What a crazy movie.
But
I feel like there was a loincloth and sand a lot, or is this Barbarella that I'm thinking of?
No, you're right. Okay. That's the on Mars stuff. So like the bookend structure of the movie was really interesting. This idea that like it's his nephew reading the journal and it's his story. But the reality is this movie should have been about the princess of Mars, Dacia. Yeah. Like she should have been the main character. Like John Carter. Also, there's a lot of like I'm this white savior nonsense from start to finish.
Amazed it didn't win an Oscar, huh?
Right. But the idea that like I thought if John Carter had just been like the guy who fights alongside the warring nations and like helps them would have been great. But the fact that he shows up, randomly becomes the leader, leads them to victory, all of that nonsense. I'm like,
I have a question.
Sure.
This is completely off base and totally random.
Bring it up.
Is the Lego movie a white savior movie, even though everyone is a Lego?
Huh. Well, I mean, I guess you could say it spoofs it because, I mean, the movie itself has the ridiculous twist, which I refuse to ruin, even though it's been out for a while.
Yeah, no. Don't ruin that for people.
That's not...
You all know.
But, I mean, I could see that it being viewed that way. But that also said, I don't... Like, I know there were persons of color actors in the movies, but I don't know that they are portrayed like they're all the Lego people are yellow, so right. I don't know.
I think it's like if you never make a decision to color your emoji like peace fingers or brain hands, it's fine.
Whatever.
Fine. You're fine. Yeah. Going back to John Carter.
John Carter. Welcome back. I hurt. It's fine.
No, it's totally fine.
So distractible right now.
I would say that I still enjoyed the movie upon a recent rewatch, but it just had way more problems than I thought. Great doggo moments though. The weird, super speedy alien doggo was doggy. Like he was the best, and like good comedy. Oh, that was the thing. I realized that movie tried to do the kind of sci-fi Thor Ragnarok comedy drama thing.
In 2012.
But not well.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is that a lot of the comedy scenes, for me as an adult at least, didn't land. Like, there's a scene where John Carter first gets to Mars and he's trying to just walk and he keeps falling forward over and over again. I'm like, I get it, pratfalls, comedy, haha, but it wasn't funny to me. And then there are other moments where he's smarmy and like it is really funny or cheeky, and then there are other moments where it just doesn't land.
Yeah.
I don't know. The writing was kind of really inconsistent. The special effects are phenomenal though. Like, I'm really shocked that something from that long ago, or not even that long ago, because
2012.
2012.
It's not that long ago.
Was
But-
it really that recent?
I looked it up on IMDb.
The fact that
had
the special effects still hold up, I think, is also because 90% of the movie's against a green screen. Like, they're not really in any physical space except for the non-Mars stuff, and so, but it looks really good. Like, I'm not sitting there going, "This looks fake." Like, the aliens looked fairly real and physical, and like the interaction for the most part. The fight choreography was awful, and like whenever there were people fighting, like I was just like, I'm bored. This is bad.
Now, this wasn't the one where Eddie Redmayne was whisper screaming, right?
No, that's Jupiter Ascending,
Right.
Which was
They
also a
all
phenomenal nightmare.
feel the
amazing.
same.
But I mean, wow. I
Yeah.
mean, you made a choice. God bless you.
See, you know what? But I like when good actors make cheesy choices in sci-fi epics. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I still love Aquaman is because I just love...
Everybody is making choices except for Jason Momoa, and
Right.
that seems fine.
Right, and I also love Ocean Master and the fact that he's in a different movie, and I'm so
boy.
okay with it.
Oh boy,
And,
this isn't about Aquaman.
no, it's not.
I think some of the pratfalls, and I'm spacing on this movie because I know I probably just let it wash over me in 2012. I have not since revisited
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
I remember the loincloth. I remember entirely too many abdominal muscles.
Yes,
But I
lots.
also remember a facial expression that was devoid of expression from Taylor. I mean, like cheekbones.
Like, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're trying to be funny sometimes and you're there's nothing there,
Yeah.
it sometimes it just doesn't hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say he was definitely handsome and smarmy, and like sometimes it really worked, but like
Yeah.
there was no variation.
I remember being very intrigued at the concept of being on another planet and knowing that other planet has other names for the planets that aren't your planet.
That's one of my favorite things about
Which
it.
is cool,
Jasum
like-
was Earth, and Barsum was Mars.
And I just liked that. And
Oh yeah,
Marvel does that too. Like Earth is what, C21?
yeah.
Terran.
Well, the
Terran
idea
or
that
whatever. Why aren't we Terran? To be
It's
real
so
though,
great.
we have
Yeah.
the dumbest planet name
We do.
ever.
everyone else has had better versions of our name's planet than we have. Like,
Yeah.
well, the funny
it's
thing
okay.
is,
We obviously hate our planet.
We
so
obviously
we
do.
might as well call it something stupid.
but I often wonder, like, what I love about that movie is, like, you have to think animals, when they communicate, they don't call themselves whatever we've named them.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
there are names that exist, like, and it's just very interesting to me, like, what an animal in their own language would refer to humans as, whatever
Yeah.
that sounds like. Like, it's a very funny thing. Like, I will say one of the best bits that translates super well is the running gag of the aliens calling Taylor Kitsch's character Virginia.
Yeah.
Because he says he's from Virginia, but they think that's because that's what they can pronounce and grasp on. They
Right.
think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. And also because there's never a moment where Taylor Kitsch gets mad like, I'm a guy, I'm not Virginia. It's literally like he just rolls his eyes like,
like,
that's
"Oh,
not my name, guys.
well."
Like, it wasn't even about sex or masculinity. It was literally just frustration.
Yeah.
And I kind of really enjoyed that. Because I really did expect after the first time it happened for there to be some kind of sexist joke. And there wasn't. And I was very happy.
Anyway, they named the dog Virginia.
They did name the dog Virginia.
I would have loved to have been in a room when it was getting pitched and go, okay, so check it. The Civil War, right? Bad guy, gonna be the good guy.
Yeah.
You know,
I missed that the first time I
Yeah.
saw it. It wasn't until I rewatched it recently where the person I was rewatching it with pointed out that he was part of the Confederacy. And I was like, I guess it's a redemption story?
Guess,
But it's so weird. And like, also this was meant to be a trilogy. Like, this was supposed to be the next Pirates of the Caribbean. It was supposed to be
Right.
Disney's next big live action
I wonder
movie.
if they just made that choice because when Burroughs wrote it, he did place this main character in Virginia
Right.
to be called Virginia. So I wonder if
They just
the
decided
movie
to-
writers just like, I guess he's if it's at that time, I guess he's a Confederate, because is he a Confederate in the book? Like,
I've never read the book, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so strange to me. And then as far as the naming convention goes, to call it John Carter, and there was press about it. Like,
of Mars.
they literally said, we're calling it John Carter because we don't think young boys would want to go see a movie called Princess of Mars. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I hate that.
That's so stupid. And also the movie is about the Princess of Mars, and it's on Mars. The title Princess of Mars tells you something. There's a princess. Right. She's on Mars. It probably takes place on Mars. What does John Carter tell you? Literally nothing.
There's a guy.
There's a guy named John Carter. Like, even the trail, like,
he's Aaron Carter's older brother. Right. He has a college party, and everybody comes to get it.
Yeah.
The sixth member of the Backstreet Boys you did not know.
John Carter.
And so that always frustrated me the most.
Yeah,
it
feels like so many balls were dropped on this movie.
They spent, I remember,
it was
a
one
lot
of the most.
money,
it was
right?
one of the most expensive movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
For something I remember being surprised when it came out, like, oh, this is
this
out.
Is a thing, yeah.
Yeah, like they spent a lot of money.
They did, and like a lot of marketing, and it was supposed to be like the next like what's his name? Is it Jerry Bruckheimer? Is he the one who does all the Pirates movies?
Michael Bay Explosion.
Oh, yes.
Wait, no, it's
Gore
Verbinski.
Gore Verbinski.
I had to go back into my history and remember Ask a Ninja, going like, I want a little bit more gore and a little less Verbinski.
Nice.
Thank you, Ask a Ninja.
I loved Ask a Ninja.
Boy.
I missed
Ask
that
a Ninja
too.
DVD applied directly to your brain.
I had
to get that out.
I had part of the musical score pop into my head.
Yeah.
Directed by. And I was like,
Like, I wanted John Carter to be as good as I remembered. There are still moments that I enjoyed, but at the end of the day, like, it's just a really bad. Like, I would say I probably enjoyed it more than some of the more recent Pirates movies.
Yeah.
And, like, Disney's done some cool stuff with live action now. You know, I still haven't seen A Wrinkle in Time, but I want to. But, like, they're doing a bunch of really cool stuff. And, like, as of when we're recording, they just dropped the new Aladdin trailer, which is... It's actually better than the teaser because, like, they remind you there's music in it. And they're going to sing some of those songs. And, like, you actually get to hear Will Smith singing a little bit of Friend Like Me, which was really nice.
And he wasn't blue in the last still I saw.
Well, yeah, because apparently, like, the blue version is, like, his genie form, but most of the time he's in a human form.
Right.
Yeah, because he does the disguise of the guy.
Yeah.
For
and so,
Aladdin,
like,
when he's like,
there's no
Prince
shortage.
Ali, fabulous he. I hate myself for singing it just then.
Don't.
It was a fantastic
How?
movie.
I love the original animated
back.
movie.
Oh yeah. It's so good.
But yeah, like, there's no shortage of them doing live action now. But at the time that John Carter came out, like, besides the Pirates movies, there wasn't a ton of stuff they were doing. And it was meant to be the next big sci-fi franchise, and it flopped. And I just, like...
It was a stratospheric leap, especially for that kind of a property. I mean, much in the way that when Marvel did Guardians, I was kind of baffled that they decided to bring that.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, it worked on so many... And nobody could have possibly thought it was going to be, that big.
No.
Yeah.
But I think
it's a niche thing.
But I think with Marvel, at least, with Guardians, like, for me, it was freeing because I went into it knowing Star-Lord and knowing some of the other characters, but not really knowing the Guardians comics.
Yeah.
And so I just got to enjoy it and had fun. You know, same with Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, those two movies, I just get to enjoy because I don't know those characters that well. Whereas, like, Wolverine Origins, which is, of course, inarguably a bad movie anyway, like, I hate it even more because... I'm a diehard Wolverine fan, and so it just made it even rougher. But yeah, I don't know. I think that all in all, I don't think I would ever watch John Carter again. I watched it for a specific reason that will be revealed to the listeners later. But I was hoping it would be as good as I remembered, so I'd enjoy it. I ended up not loving it. And let's see, a 3-word review for John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
Like, even if they called the movie John Carter of Mars, like, that would have... Sense of adventure.
Yeah.
Nothing. No.
Yeah. Didn't they do at the credits? They like had John Carter and then they wrote of Mars on it.
Yeah, and then they first showed the planet Mars with JC, and then an M appeared underneath it, like as the logo, and then they did that. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I've got a 3-word review, and continuing with my sentences. more Speedy Dog.
More Speedy Dog.
Because he was amazing.
Yeah.
He, she, it, and
They were amazing.
They were amazing, and I want a
Sweet
plush animal of that
pupper.
giant-mouthed, four-legged monster dog.
So good, that doggo.
So
good, that
that's
doggo.
what I watched.
Hooray!
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate
Like
it.
self-flagellation.
Yeah. You know, so I will say though, sometimes it is more fun to watch a bad movie than a good movie because you get a good movie and you're like, it's good.
That's true.
I liked it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. I had fun. And so the movie that I'm bringing to the table was good and I liked it. Rachel Shank back on her bullshit between animation and musical. I most recently watched the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic movie for the second time.
So now I know that there is a TV series.
Yes, My Little
Does
Pony.
the movie take place before the TV series? During?
It takes place after the season 7 finale.
Got it. So it's a recent movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It came out last year.
Okay.
2 years ago? No, like 2017, 2018. Really
Okay.
recently.
And it adheres to the My Little Pony canon.
Yes.
Of the new cartoon.
Yeah, so it follows the adventures of the quote-unquote main 6, Twilight Sparkle, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, and Rarity, as they travel beyond their home of Equestria on a mission to stop the Storm King.
Okay.
I love it. It's great. It's so fun. It's a musical, and it's ponies, and Sia's there as a pony named
Of course.
Songbird Serenade.
Of course.
And she's got like the two-tone wig,
yeah,
and a
of
big
course.
bow, and it's good. I love it.
Were there a bunch of cameos in the movie?
Yeah, the cast that shows up from like Hollywood who
Yeah.
aren't like Tara Strong and the voice actor Ashley Ball and
Yeah.
Emily Blunt plays a good pony turned bad named Tempest. I think Josh Gad
Of course.
is the voice of like her like little fuzzy minion guy.
Okay.
I can't remember who voices the Storm King, but he's very funny. Tay Diggs is a cat guy from a desert place.
Sure, why not?
Kristen Chenoweth is a hippogriff.
All right.
Yeah, it's so good.
Sure.
Zoe Saldana is a bird pirate, like an Aarakocra. Very good. It's very good. It's very good. It's
I believe
a
you.
very fun animated movie. But I love My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic. So
The Storm King was Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber.
my
Thank you.
God.
Very good.
His voice is
Very good.
Oh, Michael Pena was in it? I love
Yeah.
Michael
Oh,
Pena.
he was the mini
Gruber.
guy.
Right.
He was Gruber, the mini, not
wanna talk
Josh
about
Gad.
this. I want to talk to you about this other horse.
Oh
okay?
yeah.
That's
I
not a
just-
bad impression
Yeah,
of
it's-
him. I love him. He's the best part of the Ant-Man movies because he's not a comic relief character that is aggravating. Like I like Kat Dennings and she was okay in the first Thor, but by the second Thor movie she was
They just didn't know what to do
with her. Whereas Michael Pena in both movies, you think you're gonna
Because
cringe, and then you don't. And his recaps, mwah,
absolutely.
gold.
Hopefully they'll release the one that they showed at Comic-Con.
Of him recapping the whole
everything.
MCU. I can't
If
wait.
only.
But so now this is a movie that it takes place after the 7th season.
Yes.
And it's a
so-
musical, and it follows the same kind of structure of the
so
show.
it follows the journey of Twilight Sparkle, who is our main character throughout the movie, who is, spoiler alert for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, has become the latest princess.
Right. I remember that much
She
of the 3
becomes
episodes
the
I
princess
watched.
of friendship, and she's throwing a festival of friendship as part of her duty as princess of friendship. And the party's disrupted by the emissary of the Storm King, Tempest, and her minion, Gruber.
All right.
Too many weird jokes about pie with that character for sure, but it's fine. And so the Storm King's minions take up residence in Canterlot, the capital of Equestria. But Twilight and her friends get away, and they have to go find the Queen of the Hippo. they find out later it's the hippogriffs, and they meet a colorful cast of characters along the way, and each new location they go to, they get a song. Like, Taye Diggs gets a song about being a friend that they need, but he tries to sell them out. And so they're like, we don't trust you, motherfucker. And then they go on a ship, on an airship, captained by Zoe Saldana. And then Rainbow Dash is like, why are you guys listed as the Storm King? You gotta be awesome. And then they sing a song about being awesome. And so Saldana's like, let's be pirates again in our airship. And then they find the hippogriff capital, but it's gone. And then it's underwater. And the hippogriffs all turn to sea ponies. And the sea pony queen's daughter is Kristen Chenoweth, and she and Pinkie Pie become best friends, and they sing about having fun and hanging out. And then Twilight Sparkle's just nervous because she can't trust anybody because none of these people are ponies. Real bitch move by Twilight Sparkle, if I'm going to be honest. And is like, I'm going to try and steal the pearl that's going to save Equestria. And then she and her friends get separated, and she gets taken by Tempest. And Tempest sings a song. It's Emily Blunt, by the way. And the new Mary Poppins sings a song about don't trust anybody. And then they win. Friendship wins. Hooray. All of it. I love it. I would watch it again and again and again. I'm not even mad.
I wish I had something to add, but I've not. So I've, in all honesty, I have watched a few episodes of the series. It wasn't for me. I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it doesn't have the depth or nuance as like an Adventure Time or Steven Universe. But I do appreciate that most of the storylines are about befriending your enemy versus
fighting them. Killing them.
I mean, they do fight them, but then they like rehabilitate them through friendship, I guess. It seems real weird.
Really quick before I forget, just talking about properties going to movies, I saw a really great tweet the other day. This is not related to My Little Pony, but they're making another straight-to-DVD Doom movie, Doom. And I talked about the first Doom movie on this show not that long ago. Someone tweeted at id Software, who make the games Doom, and asked, what do you think of the new movie? And they went, we have nothing to say and have nothing to do with the making of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I guess they bought the rights.
There you go.
Cool.
I mean, this is still part of the general property because, no joke, the first episode of season 8, they talk about their adventures that they went on in the movie.
I like the tie-in.
That makes sense. Well, Steven Universe is doing a movie soon that's going to tie into the show, I've heard.
Yeah. We're going to do a special on it. Bring back Bevan.
We should,
We made promises.
We did make promises.
On air.
I'm still not caught up on the show.
I'm holding you to it.
I know. All right. If you don't like My Little Pony, would you enjoy the movie, or is it just kind of more of the same?
It's kind of just more of the same.
Okay.
In fact, if you watch My Little Pony, you might not like it as much because the weird shift of Twilight Sparkle seems very out of character for her because her whole MO has been learning to trust people.
Right.
And in this rewatch, seeing her like not trust people after like one person tries to sell them out seemed very contrived for the movie. But again, it's for the kiddos.
Sure.
And if it's My Little Pony, then whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through this animated movie where their eyes are sparkly with like a fine-tooth comb.
No, definitely
You know,
not.
at the end, Sia sings Rainbow and it changes my life. It's fine.
I am a fan of Sia.
Yeah.
I like Sia's music.
Yeah, Sia's there.
Would I need to see 7 seasons to enjoy the movie?
No. Because, I mean, once you get the gist of it, like Twilight and her friends are the elements of harmony and they protect the world.
Yeah.
You know, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. You get it. You know.
I mean, in
you
all
know.
seriousness, it's a pretty dope story to tell. Just
Yeah.
like, hey, friendship and doing good things and
And making friends with people outside of your country, you
and
know,
to make
going
it
on
entertaining. So runtime is what, like
like
a
90
$1.05
minutes.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real short. I mostly watched it because John and I have been watching all of My Little Pony, and we finally got to a point where I was like, "You're ready for the movie. You're ready."
So you're a longtime fan and you were getting him into it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So there you go. It's back on the bullshit.
I've got nothing to add. I think
Yeah.
that's you're
There you
happy,
go.
I'm happy.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
fun.
What would your 3-word review for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the movie,
I
be?
never prepare for this.
Nope,
ever.
you never do. I don't either. I just think of the first sentence that comes into my head that's 3 words and spew
Yeah.
it on the air. Because,
thoughts?
I mean, you're usually pretty decent at distilling things down to 3
Yeah,
words.
it's just like, do I want to try and like give something like
I
lends
mean, the
credence, or do I want to like
tagline-
make a joke?
Well, also the tagline is 3 words.
Yeah, it's true. See, I'm trying to decide if that's where I want to go with it or not. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. This one, Friendship is Movie.
Friendship is movie. I like it. All right, there you go.
There you go. Mwah,
All right.
for your ear holes.
That's touching. I
Yeah,
like it.
Friendship is Movie.
All right,
There we go.
D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan.
D, what did you see most recently?
I stuck with an animated film myself. But
Yes!
I watched Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse.
Very
We've talked
good.
about that on here. We are
yeah,
fans.
It was my second watching. It's so good.
So good. I've been
So
obsessed with the
good.
since we talked about it on the show.
Now
I've been
Sunflower's
obsessed
in my head.
Yeah, I've been
You're
obsessed
welcome,
with the
everyone.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
It hits so many buttons. After seeing it when it originally came out, it vaulted to number 2 for me out of all of the Marvel movies that I've seen.
Yeah, that's
only
legit.
Like Black Panther's number 1 for sure.
That makes sense.
Because I mean, like, representation, especially even in animation, I mean,
Yeah.
is really incredible. And to have this tale that most people know,
Yeah.
to retell the origin story in a way where it's not boring. You're giving 5 or 6 different versions of the
Yeah.
origin story, and whereas I roll my eyes every time I see Crime Alley in a Batman movie.
Oh,
And it's never done better. Like every time they do it, it's
Right,
never better. Well, that was the funny thing about Enter the Spider-Verse is like we got like 8 origin stories and they were all straight to the point. They were all great. And then when we got spoilers, by the way, for Enter the Spider-Verse, if you're listening now,
stop now. Go watch the movie.
and
What are
then
you
come
doing?
back,
Stop
or
failing.
jump ahead like 10 minutes. Like the fact that we still get an Uncle Dies origin story,
Right.
but in such a different way with
Right.
Miles and the Prowler, which I didn't even like. I don't know Miles that well. I only I read the early Ultimate Spider-Man. I haven't gotten up to the Miles issues, so I didn't know that if that happens in the comics or doesn't. I wasn't expecting it in the movie, so that we still get the death of the uncle to spur on the hero, but in such a different way was
Right.
so great.
Right. I mean, him being bused to another school, the better life,
Yeah.
and immigrant parents, or mixed, biracial. Brian Michael Bendis' original comic run was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he himself, has a very diverse family. And so when he came up with that character, I remember, shortly after Spider-Man died in the comics, it was a really big deal.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Well, I
was
remember the event
outside.
happening. Yeah.
And it was, fan people usually aren't the most open, which
No.
is kind of bizarre because you have this world of comics that relates and resonates in ways because you don't see it in reality.
Right.
And then you take it, and then it's I'm usually just here for it. So
Absolutely.
it resonated in a way for me that it was so touching, and the animation was phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
And when I watched it again, I'm watching it on my phone, so it wasn't so jarring like it was in the movie theater, where I was just so amazed at how many colors were being rushed into my eyeballs. But still, the story and the drama and bringing everything together in just a really intriguing and fun way from different perspectives, and everybody having their own reason to be here, to help. It was really, really great. Yeah, and
so
as a
good.
Spider-Man, I've been playing the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Oh,
Like,
so
it's the best video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
So it's not the best video game I've ever played, but I have said on this show and other shows multiple times, it is the best written Spider-Man property ever. And I think the only thing that challenges it is Into the Spider-Verse. But
Right.
and I'll say this to anyone who plays video games, it has the best depiction of Peter's relationship with a mentor
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With Dr.
Ever.
Octavius, it's phenomenal.
was so well written and so well done. And it's one of those games where you pick up the controller and after you web swing for 10 seconds, you know the controls.
Right.
Like there is nuance to it, but you can navigate the city
the
already.
story of it is really phenomenal, and that's probably what I've enjoyed the most. Plus, when I saw the movie again, I'm like, oh, I see that suit. I see that suit.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like my suit.
yeah.
And so I'm
References.
so excited about that.
I can't wait to rewatch it to like cherry pick the references because
Yeah.
there's so many. Also, if anyone's listening and wants to lend me their PS4, I'm available to
pick that up.
To go there, and, you know, I'll come to you if you're in the NYC metro area for PS4.
Just make it happen.
Just make it happen. I'm manifesting it.
I did like that they also referenced Spider-Man 3 with the finger guns
Oh,
dancing.
They did.
Which is so great, and it's just...
And they referenced Spider-Man 2 with the car coming through the window and him punching it back.
Right.
Like they make it clear that the Spider-Man that Chris Pine is portraying is that Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
We already did a spoiler alert, and I got really stressed. I was drinking water. I was like, spoiler!
We already said spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
At this point,
If you are tuned back in and you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alerts again. Okay.
But it took me a while too, especially with like the PDNY, you know, and I'm like, okay, so this is Miles's version,
the cola
and so,
soda or
right, and like Kendrick Lamar has his hat has got a 4 on it instead of like a number 3,
Yeah.
so it's just all these little things that I was like, oh, it was I was.
you know, I haven't seen it
when I saw it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it a second time yet, and I really want to. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray to come out, which I think it either just did or is coming out. But it's the first comic book movie I've gone to in so long that there's not a low moment. Like, I'm into the movie the whole time. I'm never bored, even in the cheesier, more ridiculous parts. Like, they're so intentionally silly. Like, I still, whenever anyone posts on the internet, like, how do you approach someone you're interested in, or what's your move, I just think of that scene, hey, like, just, and I hear that gif, even if if there's no audio, I hear that gif in my head. It's just so well done, and the acting is so good, and the characters are so good, you know, and I didn't know I needed a Chris Pine Spider-Man, but I'm so glad I got
Or a Christmas album song.
Yeah.
That EP is just amazing. I love it. Spidey Bells. Spidey Bells.
There's so many things that are so great about the movie. I mean, like the vocal cast, and then the dynamic representation of a wide variety of people on a wide variety of spectrums, universes, dynamics, racial makeups, and just to see all these different people represented in a medium where it's not pandering, with a soundtrack that, you know, really slaps in so many ways.
my God.
Boy, every song on that track is like everyone's a banger.
So what's interesting
single
about
one.
that soundtrack for me is like, so I loved the Black Panther soundtrack. I thought it was really good, but it's not an album that I felt I could listen to all the time. I liked it, and I liked a lot of what was on it, and I like Kendrick Lamar, but some of his music, it's just not something I can process all the time. But what's really great about the Spider-Verse soundtrack is that it moves. It's got momentum, even the slower tracks. Right. And like I think it's called Mi Familia is the song with Nicki Minaj on it. Like that song, I didn't know how badly I needed that song until I heard it. And then I started breaking down, well, Nicki Minaj is clearly the voice of the Kingpin, and then this voice is the voice of Miles, and making these different characters about family, because that movie has so much to do with family. Right. Like, the songs are so well integrated to the movie. I've said on this show also multiple times that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World has one of my favorite soundtracks because that movie integrates the music so much. Yeah. And I feel that way about Spider-Verse, and I'm so eager to rewatch it, not just to rewatch it, but because now that I'm even so much more familiar with the soundtrack than I am the movie, because it's been a while, I can't wait to rewatch it and then attach those scenes to those songs.
Right, him relaxing himself by singing, you know,
Sunflower,
right? It's so great. Or when he's doing his graffiti mural in the subway system, and then you have that nice mix, and I don't know who did it, but it's Black Sheep and with the Apache breakbeat in the background, and I'm just like, this is so great. And it, like, I'm always surprised when stuff like that gets made, because I'm like, I know what your target audience is, but it feels like you really went all in and very broad with your approach, and it works on so many levels.
I will say that movie ruined Sunflower for me in the best way, because that first verse, I can't not hear it as Miles singing the wrong lyrics or messing it up. Like when he... I hear his not knowing the lyrics in my head, and it makes me laugh every time.
That's how I sing it when I sing along with Post Malone. I'm like, needless to say, I keep the dick, and it's
I think it's easily one of the best comic book movies ever made because it gets it just right. And who knew that Sony would finally figure that out?
Right,
Yeah.
because they couldn't do anything related to a Marvel property.
Yeah.
Not well. I mean,
For a long
I will
time.
say the first two Spider-Men
are good movies.
very good.
Yeah, I will agree with
No, those were, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
friend of the show Patrick H. Willems, as his YouTube handle says, often talks about how the second movie is actually the best Spider-Man movie, and like revisiting it, I see it now. At first, I'm so in love with Willem Dafoe and his performance as Green Goblin that I forget that that's really the high point of that movie, and that it's not a perfect movie. Whereas the second one, it's so consistent.
Yeah.
And
Another
like,
ballsy choice in a performance.
with
it works.
Yeah, with Alfred Molina, who is so good at playing humble and kind, and then terrible and reckless.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like for me, the most iconic comic book scene forever ever will be Willem Dafoe arguing with himself in the mirror with the Green Goblin helmet and doing the two voices and like talking about how he recently did the GQ thing where he talks about his iconic roles. And he talks about that scene and how they had to do so many takes because they had to film him and then they had to film the mirror and like get both takes of both voices. It's such a clever way to do a Jekyll and Hyde scene that I've never seen since.
Listen, internet, I would love so much if like someone who does a really solid Willem Dafoe impression and somebody who does a really solid Gollum impression does a double date between Green Goblin. What's his
Gollum?
real? No.
Andy Serkis?
No.
Smeagol?
No, the guy. He was the Norman.
Oh, Norman Osborn.
And Gollum and Smeagol.
Oh,
just
I
like
see.
at a double. You're welcome. Just if you do
Internet,
this,
take
just
that.
send me money to me.
You have a Venmo. They can
Only
Venmo
do
you.
a
Yeah.
Gollum thing. I can't help you out with it.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
just
do a
it would
Gollum
be
impression.
so good.
Everyone I
It'd
knew.
be like and make it like really standard like awkward double date where like where Norman and Green Goblin are just like they love each other and Smeagol and Gollum are just like this is weird. Yeah. Whew, what a weirdo that one, right? And like I love it.
Oh,
I'm
Gollum.
into it. I've already
Wait,
written it in
that's
my
like
head.
the,
It's so good.
The second one when like his mask comes off and then like the kid's like, I won't tell. You're Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That scene on the train.
Feelings.
The scene on the train when I just watched that. Someone tweeted it recently, and that's been a big thing lately on Twitter. Is like movie buffs tweeting favorite scenes, and someone retweeted the scene where he's trying to stop the elevator, not the elevator, the train, and like the webbing snaps, and like the guy behind him on the train goes, "Well, that didn't work," and he like looks at him, and like it's so well performed. Tobey Maguire was hit or miss as Spider-Man, but that scene is so good.
Crushed it.
And then the end where he stops the train and they catch him and put him on the train, like it's just such a perfect Spider-Man New York moment.
Yeah. I
Like-
will say of the iconic Spider-Man moments in cinema,
Yeah.
the one that truly sticks out the most to me is from Spider-Man Homecoming. When like Spider-Man's just hanging out and then there's this like extra who's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip." And he does the
Does
flip.
The hot dog vendor.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And it makes me so happy.
It is. I'm looking
Hey,
forward to.
Spider-Man, do a flip.
I'm so looking forward to Far From Home and getting Mysterio in a damn movie.
Oh boy!
I never thought that day would happen.
He
Jake
can get it, Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
man.
that's a absolutely he can moment. I'm
Can
sure.
get it.
Oh, and then
For sure.
frickin' I really love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I also love Tom Holland as the Peter Parker of real life. The fact that he's such a giddy, young, excited, sarcastic kid that he's given away more Marvel secrets than any other person on the planet. Have you ever seen the supercut of Benedict Cumberbatch stopping him from giving away secrets?
Right.
It's the best thing ever.
Sweet boy.
So good.
Sweet
He's such
boy.
yeah, I mean, and
This is a podcast about
I
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
know. I'm
apparently.
so sorry for bringing up.
No,
Oh, no,
fine.
I
No,
love
because now
it.
I'm thinking about like in Homecoming, like the tension that again movie works on a level that like the John Hughes movies have failed.
Uh-huh.
Looking back,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because I'm like the most tension I've felt in a long time was when he was in the car.
Oh yeah.
Going to the dance and was like, oh, it's coming.
And then she gets out and he says, "Oh, can I just chat with Peter for a sec?" And you're like, "Oh, here it comes."
Right.
Like, oh, it was so good. And also, like, Michael Keaton, his return to cinema has been so great. And like, I really want that Batman Beyond movie where he plays Bruce Wayne. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
But like, he was so good as the Vulture because what that movie did, like Black Panther did, is like you actually got an understanding for the character. Like, he had goals and responsibilities and cared about people. He wasn't just a mindless thug like other Spider-Man villains have been.
Right.
Yeah, which I also, in a way, appreciated about Spider-Verse. Because Wilson Fisk, while very dastardly and broad and big, is just trying to get his family back.
That also, Liev Schreiber was the Kingpin there. Well,
His voice work is crazy.
So good.
He
and
does
I never
not
know when it's him.
I know,
Me
like
neither.
the
doesn't
Storm
have a
King
tell.
in My Little Pony sounds nothing like Liev Schreiber. He's like
Yeah.
friendship and magic and ponies and blah.
like
Disgusting.
we got two.
So good.
After having a mediocre Kingpin in my I love Michael Clark Duncan, may he rest in peace, and I thought he was a good Kingpin for what they had to work with for the Daredevil movie. Like, we got in the last 2 or 3 years got two unbelievably different and phenomenal Kingpin performances. And the fact that they're both so different, but they both boil down to the Kingpin is capable of love, loves deeply and passionately, and it's that love that drives him to do terrible things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And portrayed in different ways.
Yeah.
Because in the TV show on Netflix, it's this love for a woman. It's not even a family. It's just this one woman.
Right. Yeah.
And then in the movie, it's the same woman, but like, it's already, he has a family and everything.
Right.
It's just, it's so well done.
And
you
they're
know.
able to not kill the villain.
Yeah.
Unlike the
true.
cinema universe, which I don't know
Besides
why.
Loki, and now he's dead too, technically.
Maybe.
Right? I mean,
Maybe.
especially when you know you want to make all of the movies all the time. Like, why
kill these
why
villains?
Kill the villains?
I
Yeah.
know.
Bring Sam Rockwell back, you cowards.
Yeah, do it. He was great.
Yeah.
Justin Hammer.
Very true. Oh boy, what a good one. So D'Artagnan, if you had to distill Into the Spider-Verse down to 3 words that are not Into the Spider-Verse, because
Right.
I'm not
Too easy.
I'm not lobbing you that meatball. What 3 words would you use to describe this film?
Just here for it. Really, it's just
Here
it's
for it.
Here for
so
it.
great.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I really want the rest
Miles,
of those
that
movies.
sweet boy.
He's so good, and
I
the
love
actor who
Sweet
played
Boy.
him is so good.
Yeah, have you guys have seen The Get Down, right?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Like, and like
Forever.
what I'm really excited about
make a season 2, you cowards.
Into the Spider-Verse also is a movie that can spawn has spawned its own cinematic universe, and I would watch a movie about any of those characters
Absolutely.
and any of their universes, and the fact that at the end, the post-credits, again, spoilers, the post-credits scene, just an excuse to do a really funny meme, but they use Spider-Man 2099, who's also one of the more famous alternate universe Spider-Mans.
Right.
The idea that we may get a movie with him in it or another Spider-Verse. The
Yeah.
fact that they've already greenlit a Spider-Gwen movie, which I am super excited for, especially since the movie ends with them still connecting, which means there's going to be more universe hopping
Right.
and there's going to be more of the two of them. Like, it's just, I'm very excited for whatever that creates.
And
Yeah.
and no kiss, no forced like
No.
Nothing.
normative
boy.
relationship.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes.
Like when they dap and it says dap, like there's stuff. I'm just it's so great. Like,
I'm starting to love the trend of removing the forced romantic element from films.
Yeah. Like, there are films where I feel like it works and it has worked and it's cute. Like, I liked when Ant-Man and the Wasp got together and, like, them hooking up in the second movie was cute and awkward and, like, it gave Michael Douglas jokes about, stop fantasizing about my daughter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was cleverly really done. And also because it built a tent pole for, like, the love between the parents when they get reunited and all of that.
And I think Ant-Man and the Wasp dealt more with like them post-romantic relationship.
Right,
Like they had been broken up.
Because he was arrested.
Because
Right.
Because he broke the law.
Yeah.
it's like how long they waited for Cap and
Yeah.
MCU to
Yeah.
move on from his love for Bucky.
And that also
it's
like
never over.
It's
with
never
Cap and
over.
Bucky.
Cap
Never.
and Bucky is true love forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say
as
though,
someone who
it's-
shared an elevator with Sebastian Stan, he just has an energy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I am in the midst of a Marvel rewatch for the other radio show I do. And going back to First Avenger, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Peggy and Cap just forever.
Oh my god, it's such a beautifully told story.
What a wonderful movie.
Well, and
just top to bottom, just I want to kiss that movie.
Haley Atwell, right?
Haley Atwell.
So I think it was someone on the Infinity Pod who said that they need to bring back Agent Carter because it was the best MCU property they ever made outside the movies, which I wholeheartedly agree. I love the TV series.
With 20,000 roaring orcs. I mean, the Howling Commandos.
They did that crappy TBS thing where it's like, we're going to give you 8 episodes and then just let it go. It was just like, but I need...
It was such a good show. I wanted more of it. And like, I think what's really great when Marvel does relationships right is like, they're not the tentpole of the movie. They're just a side thing for the movie. Like it can be portrayed a little better, but like Star-Lord and Gamora's relationship also, it's very much like, look at these goofy kids who don't know how to be in love.
And what I love about that is they are painting the picture of you don't get the girl.
Yeah.
Like that's just
it's not a requirement.
Like you don't get it because like you guys aren't fucking there yet.
Yeah.
Like the moment when she's like, just one of those unspoken things. It's like, neither of you are ready to be romantically inclined.
Right.
Oh, I love you being so self-aware about this.
Also, I'm here for the relationship between Drax and Mantis. Like, their love is unlike any other love.
No
they
joke.
Are. But yeah, no, that's something I hate.
No, I take it back. Mantis deserves better. Drax is really mean.
He's terrible.
I take it back. As a comedy thing, yes.
Yes.
As a real life thing,
no,
Mantis,
he's terrible.
You can do better.
He is invisible, though.
He is. You can't see him. He's just moving real slow.
Don't do
I'm
this
so
to me.
I'm so sad that we're not getting another Guardians probably because the way they made those characters. And apparently this is an MCU podcast now. You're welcome.
Sorry. Not sorry. No, it's fine.
What I love about...
There are movies that are on our eyes, in our minds, and near our hearts.
And Captain Marvel's out right now, and we can't talk about it because I haven't seen it like a dork.
And I've seen it, and I have to talk about it too much.
And I was so considerate. I didn't want to blurb out stuff. They're really my comfort zone. Like, I've watched...
Me too.
Like, if I wouldn't have watched Into the Spider-Verse, then Winter Soldier would have been the movie I would have seen before.
That's one that I've watched a lot of times. Age of Ultron I watched a bunch. Even though the movie has a ton of problems, the hammer lifting scene is a beautiful piece of comedy gold.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because, like, my favorite moment is the bromance between Rhodey and Tony when they're both using their gloves trying to lift. And he's like, dude, pull. He's like, I am. He's like, come on. Like, just, it's like, all of that is done so well, you know.
And again, this, I think, is why, as much as I love the MCU and how much, like, I have obviously, like, pinned my banner to that in many ways. If they just made these, like, 6-part miniseries, like, you get Age of Ultron in 6 full-length, like, hour-long episodes. You really can expand some stuff, really, like...
Yeah.
Get to know these characters, live in their status quo for like 20 goddamn minutes before it's like, your planet exploded. You're getting murdered. Oh, you are in prison now, I guess. Like, everything that feels so interesting about these movies seems to happen between the movies.
Well, it's why the first Avenger is one of the better Marvel movies is because you get to live in Steve's world.
Yeah, you
like,
understand.
The whole build-up to him becoming Cap... and then getting sidelined, like all of it is slice of life.
Right.
Yeah,
and they were able to transition a property who was always corny prior to the actual Winter Soldier run.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like the Brubaker comic, where like Superman was DC has not been able to do something like, and like they gave you the blueprint with Cap. I mean, they can't transition. They're just like, I'm a mild-mannered guy.
Well, because they tried. Christopher Reeve was perfect. They tried to do it with Superman Returns and ruined it because why would you do that to Brandon Routh? Like, he's a good actor. Why make him be Christopher Reeve? It was awkward. And then after that, it's everything's dark and gritty. I still argue that if Henry Cavill can get himself in a decent Superman movie with a lighthearted plot, he'd be a phenomenal Superman.
Yeah, the moment when he climbs into the tub.
Oh my God! Yeah,
It's so charming. It's just like, why do
What are
this
you
movie?
doing? Yeah,
do this
I know.
one.
Yeah, there seems to be and with all the stories that happen, even in the MCU, like a serialized one that you're talking about, I think would get some of the visions out, and not like Vision,
but
like,
character,
like where
Grape squash.
Where like problematic stuff for me with like Scarlett Johansson and some of like Avengers or Age of Ultron is it's just like pose, cleavage, look, Whereas in Winter Soldier, she's a fucking badass.
Right? Or even the first
Civil
Avengers,
War, she's a fucking badass. I was like, I want this version,
right?
Because she's awesome.
Yeah, well, and that's the big problem is like in Avengers, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, they build on her character, whereas in Age of Ultron, they make it about her relationship with Bruce, and then they also like she's a monster because she can't have kids. Like it's so many tropes and cliches, and then she gets fridged, she gets thrown in a cage. Like I get that. I get why they were doing it as transition points,
right.
And it led up to the climax where like they're gonna run away together, and she pushes him into the pit, so he becomes the Hulk. Like all those moments are fun, but I feel like there was another way to get there.
Yeah.
And I think that what I'm really excited about some of the DC movies that seem to be branching out outside of that is they're remembering how to have fun with those relationships. Yeah. What's really great about Shazam, just based on the trailers, is it looks like a buddy movie with two little kids, except one of the little kids is Zachary Levi.
He's an adult.
Like the scene where he realizes he's bulletproof. So I want you to rewatch that trailer, listener. The moment where he realizes he's bulletproof and he stands up and he's smiling because he's so excited and then realizes, oh, I'm a superhero, and makes a mean face. Like, it's just the best, most precious moment. Like, oh, now I'm serious. You guys gotta go.
Comic books, are you okay?
Yeah.
What is this one, though?
I know.
I'm a little boy who becomes a man.
Saying Shazam.
I will say the first time I met Shazam was in like an animated DC show.
Oh, it's probably
a recent DC show because no one knew
Young Justice.
He was Billy Batson.
It was Young Justice.
Boy? Yeah.
Because in Young Justice it was pretty clever. Like they need a chaperone hero, and so he's chaperoning them, but they don't know he's a little boy until he suddenly loses his powers. And like, what the hell?
Right.
I'm not Shazam. I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Mulaney in Spider-Verse, though, like
as Spider-Ham,
pour one out for that performance.
Did you see his interview on Jimmy Fallon where he talks about how when he got pinned for the movie, like they requested him, they couldn't tell him what it was. It had the typical Marvel NDA, so he does a ton of takes as Spider-Ham filled with cursing.
He's like,
because he doesn't know what it is.
Well, son of a bitch.
And like then at the end, he's like, "How are those?" Oh, this is what movie? Oh, I should probably do those again, huh?
Yeah.
Like, they tell him what the movie is, and he's like, crap.
It's very good.
It's so good.
D'Artagnan, we're in the beginning, the first quarter of 2019. There are many movies coming down the line. What movies are you looking forward to?
Judging by my Thanos socks, I'm obviously ready for
Endgame.
Endgame. And I will, I'm sure, cry like a little person, which is fine.
That's okay.
I was ready
cried
for
at the My Little Pony movie. It's fine.
Captain Marvel, for a long time. So, like, day one, took my daughter to see it.
Of course.
And we smacked each other with glee. Yes. Shazam, absolutely. Endgame, and I don't know if... Dumbo is intriguing to me. I'm ambivalent about it because, boo to the circus in general forever.
Also, the original movie was super racist.
Yeah,
right.
The crows.
But when I see the little Dumbo face in him flying, I'm just like, oh my God, my heart is soaring. But I'm like, it's going to be gut-wrenching with the elephants. So I know, but it's weird because I love-hate relationship with Tim Burton.
Yeah. I love his
Big Fish, even though women don't ever talk to women, and that's fine. But
congratulations, Captain Marvel, on your Bechdel test passing.
Oh, smashing!
Movie.
Oh, good,
smashing.
Good. All good things to know. Yeah, it's funny you bring up Dumbo because so I'm a big Disney fan. I'm a Disney nerd, but and I don't know if it's just the old man kicking in, but like I love the original animated movies. To remake them, like Dumbo, I get remaking because
Lion King is coming, right?
Yeah.
Lion King is coming with an all POC cast except for Zazu, which will
Who's
be
being
John
voiced by
Oliver,
John Oliver.
which I'm very excited about. So my hesitation with these.
Who's an immigrant, so there we
Yeah,
go.
it's true. My hesitant with a lot of their remakes, and my hesitance with like I love a lot of original Disney movies. Aladdin happens to be one of my favorite old school Disney musicals, and so I'm hesitant with the new movie, not because I don't believe that they shouldn't have an all POC cast and shouldn't be updated. I just, I don't think it'll be as good. I saw the live action Beauty and the Beast, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it brought anything to Beauty and the Beast that the original animated movie didn't do.
Yeah.
There were definitely some fun moments with the really good casting that I really enjoyed. And so, like, when I look at the Dumbo trailer, I'm like, yay, Danny DeVito and Colin Farrell. Like, I like these actors. The two young kids look really good. Like, they're going to be good actors in the movie. Like, it looks like it'll be fun. But I don't know. I'm hesitant to jump into these movies because I feel like they're just retreading stuff to keep the rights, which they are.
Which they are.
Right,
Well,
yeah,
well, no, I don't know, because...
Dumbo seems like it was out forever ago.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't think...
Maybe Dumbo's
I
out.
might
Maybe
have
they just
misspoken
release
about
it sporadically
Well, yeah.
to keep that.
Yeah.
I don't know how that
I
works.
think it also
I'm not smart that way.
might have to do with... Because I don't think these live-action versions of Disney movies were coming out until after Marvel really hit its stride.
That's true.
At being this property that's like retooling old things to be new. And I feel like it's less to do with the rights because...
Maybe.
Dumbo was under no... I'm sure
Yeah.
I said this on the podcast, and I'm sorry if I misspoke. I'm going to correct it now. Because they have the rights to their films forever. In fact,
Yeah.
Disney is the reason that copyright laws go as long as
Oh,
they
that's
do.
true. Yeah.
Because things fall into fair use, and then Disney was like, well, we can't. We
need this
we
stuff,
have,
yeah.
Like, there's a really great...
Right, because you're always going to know that Mickey Mouse is
Yeah,
a Disney
because
property.
they started fighting fair use around the time Mickey Mouse was going to move into the public domain.
There's a great Adam Ruins Everything episode all about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just more to like cha-ching
To
those
bring-
dollars
yeah.
and be like, you know what would be really cool? Seeing Mowgli with CGI animals, I guess.
I mean,
live action.
I mean, I guess part of it is also the fact that they
That's
can
not-
do it now. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these movies might have been animated at the time because they couldn't have done them live action. Like, I will say, as scary as the teaser version of Blue Will Smith was, watching the full-length trailer, like, it fits the scenes and looks really good. And also, I really like Will Smith. I talked about this on our episode when we talked about Bright. Like, I've always been a fan of Will Smith. Since the Fresh Prince days, since the music days, like, I've always been a fan of Will Smith. I find him irresistibly charming.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of crappy movies. And, like, I really want Aladdin to be good because it's a full, appropriately POC cast. As far as I know, anyway. If I'm speaking out of turn, please let me
think-
know.
I think
Some-
maybe the good...
Guy who's voicing Iago?
It's Alan Tudyk.
Alan
Tudyk
Tudyk
is
voicing
Iago. Because, of course.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, I mean, you're like, okay, Middle East probably,
Like, and a lot of people complained about that in the first movies. Like, it was all
North
white people
Africa,
being these
right.
characters.
Yeah.
And I get that. I don't know. I just...
Right, I don't
New
know.
ideas, people.
Right, I love the original Beauty and the Beast when it came out. I did not see the newer one because
Right.
it was no longer in my wheelhouse. I have watched Point Break way too many times.
Oh, my God.
To
And they
declare
do...
publicly, and they remade it, but I wasn't like, how dare they
Of course.
remake,
Yeah.
because it's a garbage film.
Yeah.
I just have it. You have so much to say about it because it's just not great.
Also,
This Is Us. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I
go ahead.
totally forgot about that.
What?
The Jordan Peele movie.
Oh, Us.
Yeah,
Us, not the- 'cause
This Is Us is a TV show.
That TV
Okay,
show that
right.
everybody
No,
cries
Us-
about.
Right.
Us,
No.
the new
Yeah,
full-length
Us.
trailer that came out.
I don't think I'm ready for it
No.
at all.
Like, it's,
I don't like
it's-
horror movies. I'm terrified of them, but I want to watch his because
Yeah.
I loved Get
same,
Out.
Same,
Right,
same,
And
same,
so,
same.
like,
not-
Us looks
it's not my genre.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, I love Lupedia, and what's the name of the gentleman who plays M'Baku?
Winston
who's in
Luke.
that? Winston Luke. I love him, too. He's really good.
Yeah.
And, like, he was good in the brief scenes as M'Baku. I'm really excited to see him play another more lengthy role,
Mm.
and, yeah, that one looks
just
really
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
So scary. So I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm gonna do, and you should do this with me because I
Okay.
feel like this would be a good way for us to see this very, very scary movie.
Okay.
We should go to the Alamo Draft House to see it because if it gets too scary, we can order chicken wings,
We can order chicken
and you
wings.
can eat chicken wings while you're scared. And I
That's
feel like
true.
you won't be as scared of eating chicken wings. Because you're eating chicken
That's
wings.
good. I mean, the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn is
you
pretty
can't
much...
be scared while eating mozzarella sticks. You cannot. It is
can't.
physically
It's
impossible.
Scientifically proven.
I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna eat mozzarella sticks.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I read that paper. So
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
It's an episode of Adam Ruins Everything.
I
I'm
will
sure.
say
it's on YouTube.
I'm at a point with my spouse where like we will wait to see a movie so we can see it at the Brooklyn Alamo Draft House. The fact that they have a rule that they will throw you out if you talk during the movie makes me, as a grumpy old man, so happy. So happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I want to go see a kids movie with kids, I'll go to one of their kids screenings. But otherwise, I just want to enjoy the movie. I don't want people to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You bring up asking us what movies we want to see.
Yeah.
And like
It's-
the
you
movies
know
that you
what?
listed, D, like those are mine too. And I think it's because I lean into the nerd properties now, and like all of the non-nerd property movies besides Us, they just fall to the wayside, and it's a bummer because I don't like falling into that trap. Like we talked about on the show, I think it was the last episode.
Yeah, with Amy Leland.
With
Thank
Amy
you,
Leland.
Amy Leland.
That I didn't see Hidden Figures until after the fact in Moonlight, and like they're phenomenal
So
movies,
good.
and I wish I saw them in theaters so I could have supported them. Like I'm so annoyed I still haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians, which I hear is really funny,
Yeah.
and I should have seen that the weekend it came out to
Right.
support those
It's-
movies that are not comic book movies.
Right,
Yeah,
like
it's so
blind
hard to
spotting or-
do.
Yeah.
You know, when a movie ticket is so ridiculously expensive.
Right. And also like I don't think Hidden Figures would have been a different experience on the big screen because it's dramatic. Like this, the
Right.
enormity of it doesn't matter. But
Mm-hmm.
these comic book movies with the flashing light, like
Right.
Enter the Spider-Verse, I'm sure will be great on my TV. Nothing will compare to seeing it in the theaters on the big screen.
Right.
Nothing, because it's just one of those kind of event movies. And you know,
Right, I felt bad about posthumously, I guess, for not seeing Hidden Figures in the movie theaters because I'm like, I wanted to give the money to
Yeah.
this property so more of these films could
Yeah.
be made because like, why did I
Yeah.
not know this story?
right?
Yeah.
When I actively research a lot of stuff, especially for what I normally do, I'm like, why? This is an amazing story. Like,
I know. And it's done so well. Like I was saying when we talked about Hidden Figures, there's comedy in that movie that you don't expect. Just funny life moments that are really good.
And Janelle Monáe should not be that wonderful.
Oh my God.
And literally everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
Her music is phenomenal. Her
Right.
acting is phenomenal. Like I'm just convinced there's nothing that she can't do. Her and Tessa Thompson are just... Speaking of... that's another movie I'm looking forward to. Men in Black International.
Ooh,
because
yes.
I will watch Chris Helmsworth and Tessa Thompson do anything
And
forever.
I didn't even care about it. I was like, why are they making another one? And then I saw the trailer and I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
ready
do
to
it.
go.
There we
Let's
go.
watch it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although I will fight to the death that Men in Black 3 is the best Men in Black movie.
I loved Men
It's
in Black
so
3.
good. And also, as a Flight of the Conchords fan, to see Jermaine Clement come into his own as a phenomenal actor in so many different roles.
Yeah.
And he's so good at playing shticky characters. Like, he was genuinely scary in Men in Black 3. Like, he was a scary character. Like, and yeah, Men in Black 3... And also Josh Brolin with his Tommy Lee Jones impression. Like,
Right. No, it's
Will
great.
Smith said that on set it got to the point where like he would come up behind him and he wouldn't know. He would think it was Tommy, which I think is really great.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so upset at that movie because like it made me tear up.
Oh my God,
And
the
I was
ending
just
is
like,
so
I was
good.
Like, how
Dare you? I came here for silliness and
Right.
now I'm
Making
crying.
me feel
Alien.
feelings.
I love feeling feelings at silly things.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Rachel? What movies are you looking forward to?
All those
Yeah.
ones that you
Right.
said, and
Oh, Hellboy. I want to see Hellboy.
I'm intrigued
Look,
by Hellboy.
you can't bitch about a new Hellboy movie because the first two were not expected to be hits and they were phenomenal.
Yeah. Also, I really do want to take a moment and just like step outside of this podcast and just say, hey, you don't like a thing that's being remade? That's okay. You know what? It doesn't unmake the version that you liked.
Oh, yeah.
You can go back and watch the version that you liked.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's fine. Just
Yeah.
like what you like, don't like what you don't like. Don't be a dick about
Yeah,
it.
let people enjoy things. Yeah, I got a lot of flack for saying that I was excited about the new Hellboy. Because I just love the character. And I barely read the comics.
I really like David
How
Hauerberger.
dare you just enjoy something?
I know. But, like, also, I'm, like, a diehard Ron Perlman fan also. Like, I'll watch him in anything. And he was such a perfect Hellboy that I went... Like, my initial reaction was, of course, like, how dare they not bring Ron Perlman back? He was perfect. And then I saw... What's his name?
Like 80.
Who plays a Hopper.
Yeah,
from Stranger
David
Things.
Harbour.
Yeah. And he, like, the first scene you see him in the makeup, I'm like, oh, he's perfect. Like, this is perfect. He's perfect. Also, Ian McShane is just charming in everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's just good at being Ian McShane and stuff at this point.
No better role than Hot Rod. If you've seen Ian McShane and Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, that movie. Before I knew what The Lonely
Beans.
Island was, and I still love that movie so much. If we talked about TV on this podcast, I'd talk about how much I still love Brooklyn Nine-Nine and how every episode is a treasure.
I would talk about The Good Place and how important that show is.
Show is perfect. Also, like, always loved Ted Danson since Cheers and, like, 3 Men and a Baby, and now he is
I
perfect.
forgot that he did a show where he was a curmudgeonly doctor.
Becker!
I forgot about
Oh, yeah.
Becker. And then someone reminded me that Becker existed, and I was like, I did like Becker.
I did like Becker too. I love Good Place because it takes a tremendous cast and it's made me fall, like, it gave me so many Buy and Pan feelings because I just am in love with that entire cast. They're all so pretty and so wonderful.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine posted a tweet, I can't remember who, about how the Clark Kent syndrome is real and proven because of Chidi. Because when Chidi takes his shirt off, literally Clark Kent to Superman, and they don't look like the same person. And it's like, so when the next time you want to complain about how Clark Kent puts the glasses on and how could it be, it's like, Chidi is proof.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
one thing that I really appreciate about The Good Place, now we're going to talk about TV,
Why not?
Fuck
It's
it.
our rules.
We do what we want here, is the way that it shifts its status quo.
Yeah.
But it gives you enough of that old status quo that the shift feels like something. This is, again, why I come back to, I wish Marvel was doing, like, long miniseries of things, because you could, like, relish in this post-Avengers Assemble world where they're just, like, trying to figure out how to be a team together, you know, and more of that weird dichotomy of, like, the pissing contest between Cap and Tony and, like, what that looks like in a longer run than just a couple, like, scenes. You get, like, 20 minutes of that thing, but then, like, if you stretch it out, just, like, watching the growth of Chidi and Tahani and Eleanor and
Jason.
and fucking Jason. And Janet even.
And oh my God, Darcy Carden,
Yeah, her episode
where she plays all the characters.
when you were speaking of curmudgeon things, right? The Becker in December and January when we got like 2 Good Place episodes, I was feeling that entire time because it's like peak television right now, but also again representation and comedy and a show whose premise seems to be on the verge of expiring each season, 4 episodes, and yet
they find a way to keep going.
it's amazing to me how, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, it can't last. This is nope.
Well, and it's when
it's just
when I rewatched it the first season, like something that Michael Schur points out. So I listen to the podcast, the Good Place podcast, hosted by Mark Evan Jackson. I play Sean.
He's from Earth.
I love him. He's from Earth. Michael Schur talks about how they created the perfect character with Michael because they literally made him do demon things and you forgave him. Like in one episode, he kicks a dog into the sun, and
Spoilers for Good Place.
spoiler
by the
for
way.
Good Place, and literally
Ted Danson kicks a dog.
and you literally 10 minutes later forgive him without a second thought.
and then he's like, do you want that one back? Because I just kick it right back up in the sun.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Man, peak TV though.
Yeah.
And
Movies get on TV's level.
It hits on so many American things, like his disdain for all things Florida and Arizona. Apparently.
Jacksonville and
Yeah.
Arizona. Perfect.
It's one of the top 15 swamp cities in northeastern Florida. I'm like, wow, like that's just harsh.
And it's so good.
Right.
And apparently, like, they have a good sense of humor about it. Like, they've gone, because they filmed some stuff in Jacksonville, and, like, people just going crazy. Oh my God. Yeah,
Put Ron Swanson in The Good Place, you cowards. You've alluded
Swanson
to it.
Safes.
Yep.
He did an ad read on the podcast for Swanson Safes, Nick Offerman. Mm-hmm. He's another man that I love and will watch in anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I think going back to the Marvel thing, though, talking about how they aren't taking risks, it's the movies that do take risks and the directors get to be themselves that are the best. Like, you were talking about slice of life, and it really, I feel like it is that simple. Like, the reason Thor Ragnarok works is because the whole movie is an escapade of slice of life. It's just Thor trying to get back to Earth and figure things out. Like, he's just trying to get out of this situation, and it's what makes it so good. It's why both Guardians movies work, is because a lot of it is very much slice of life.
Yeah, you just...
Like, these are these characters, and you're living a moment in time with them.
Yeah.
It's even why I feel like Infinity War works well, I'd say more than half the time. Rewatching it as many times as I have now, there are definite scenes where you're like, ugh, this feels kind of ham-fisted. But, like, all the scenes on Earth are so great, down-to-earth slice-of-life moments. And then, like, the stuff when Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Spider-Man are on the ship together isolated are kind of meh. But when they unite with the Guardians and they're fighting and then they realize they're on the same side and they're trying to talk, it's just such great interactions of characters and great character development. Or even, like, Josh Brolin is really brilliant as Thanos, because there are definite scenes where he does the thing that Kilgrave does on Jessica Jones, David Tennant. It's like, for half a second you find yourself actually intrigued and interested before you go, oh my god, no, he's terrible.
Yeah.
And like, Kilgrave is a horrible person through all of Jessica Jones.
Right.
But for those who haven't seen it, this isn't really a spoiler, but there are scenes where Jessica is willingly with Kilgrave in his own home, and they're talking, and you're like, oh my god, he's just trouble. No, he's actually really bad. Oh my god, what's happening? And like, it's masterful writing and acting that gets you there in slice of life moments that not enough of the Marvel movies have. And it's why I'm excited for Far From Home, because it seems like it's going to be more of that, and why I'm hesitant about Endgame, even though I know at the end of the day I'll enjoy it. But I've been saying this since Infinity War came out. I don't know if Infinity War is good because I don't have Endgame. Because they are meant to be back to back. They filmed them together. Right. They are two halves of a whole. You know, it's like watching the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, the Harry Potter movies. Like, the only reason Part 2 is good is because of Part 1 with all its problems, because together they make a whole.
Yeah.
But when I saw Part 1 on its own, I was like, what is this? What do I do with
Harry
this?
Potter, and he goes camping, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still cannot wrap my head around putting that book into two movies.
I know.
It just seems ludicrous to me, because
like
the first half of it is just like they're camping, and they're scared.
They could
and
have
then
condensed that into one movie.
And then like Twilight turned around and did the same thing, and then the
Hobbit
Hobbit
was
movies were 3 movies.
The first half hour of the first
say,
Hobbit movie was phenomenal and beautiful. The rest of it, and I never saw the other 2 parts. Like, who needs them?
To bring it around to a property that filmed at the same time, and you didn't need the other ones, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
Each of those movies has the ability to stand on its own as a piece. The next one stands on its own as a piece. The last one, while it like finalizes so many things from the first 2, stands alone as its own piece. And this is what I miss in movies, where you can just like go and see one and go, awesome, cool, I'm fine.
Right. What you're left with at the end, at least for me, I mean, there's not the satisfaction.
Yeah.
You know,
there's no completion of the story.
Right. So when like I'm sitting there, I'm like, so what? Thanos he's gonna fucking sit down and take a look and just.
That's it?
I did it?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening? I was so upset. I mean, not like I thought it was a garbage movie, because I loved it.
Yeah.
But the ending part of it was like, you're Lord of the Rings trilogy, I mean, brilliantly done, where you're like, okay, like
they're
even
continuing.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you got your ass kicked, and Han's gone, your hand's gone, you know,
Yeah.
but you're with the princess, you're on a ship, you've got a plan. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
enough
can't
to
wait for the
feed
next thing.
you.
There are satisfying cliffhangers and unsatisfying cliffhangers, and the problem with the current MCU is that you're always expecting the next thing and the post-credit scene like it's a shtick now.
Right.
And what I love about Ragnarok, or what I love about the first Avenger, or what I really love about the first
Homecoming or
Ant-Man
something, right.
or Homecoming,
Right.
is that they stand on their own as a movie
right.
you can watch
Yeah.
isolated from the others.
Yeah.
Even the first Avengers. You can watch the first Avengers
And be done.
and be
And you're
done
like, I
and
get
know
it.
what happened and
Absolutely.
what's happening.
Right.
But the second Age of Ultron is really confusing if you've not seen anything, and Infinity War is
Like,
really
what is this
confusing.
country?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just that's what's become frustrating. It's like
Yeah.
I like the stand. It's why I love Black Panther so much. Again, a movie that exists in its world that doesn't need the other movies.
With two characters that you can equally root for and understand up into a certain point, I think,
Right.
for most people. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. Give me, serialize that. Give me the Killmonger origin
I
story.
would
I'm
watch the
fucking
crap out of
here
that.
for
Like they're
it.
talking about doing a Loki
You know?
TV show, and I love Loki, and I like the character as he's been as he's been portrayed in the Marvel universe currently. But like
I don't need it, but
I don't need it.
convince me.
Sure,
Yeah.
but like Killmonger, I would watch that series. Like him growing up, him learning, like
You were left alone in Oakland. You ended up going to this college, the military camp. You self-made.
yeah.
When nobody is self-made.
Also
in
the
history
TV
of forever. Like,
also the
I'm-
TV series that no one wants, but I want the Claw miniseries because I mostly just love Andy Serkis, and they got to be such a boisterous, ridiculous character.
Yeah.
Like I've known Claw from the comics, and Claw is a nothing character. He controls sound. He's a hitman. Like he's nothing. They did so much with so little in all of the movies he's appeared in as Claw. Like
Yeah.
that's brilliant writing. Like his scene in Age of Ultron with the candy and the pufferfish. Such a great scene in an otherwise not great movie. Like, and then him in all of Black Panther, like, and another one where they had to kill him off. Like, why?
Right.
Why?
I mean, that's part. It just seems to be some of these films are just designed to move along
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
story, which lends to itself to serialized production. Because you're like, okay, we can't do this without the finality here.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I don't think they thought that Black Panther was going to be what it was.
Right.
And-
Whereas the rest of us knew.
And
Of
so
course
that,
it will.
That probably made them go, oh, we got to do some extra filming or
Yeah.
add something here.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. I like all the other stories where you're not hearing them or their voices or they're standalone or anytime there's somebody else that's more intriguing or you're like, okay, now I'm getting another perspective that I'm not familiar with, but
Right.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So let's listen to that or follow that direction. So even with Captain Marvel, like the female screenwriter, female director, co-director, like, all right,
Yeah.
you're gonna see something different.
Yeah. Wonder Woman was great for a lot of reasons, and two of the big reasons were Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Because male gaze, a la Justice League, right, makes
Yeah.
it different.
Yeah.
watching that after having seen Wonder Woman, it was so depressing.
Yeah, and what's really great about both Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman is they are movies with women that aren't always about being a woman. Like,
Right.
it is about being a superhero and
Right.
being called to adventure,
Yeah.
being called to a place you don't know or whatever. And then you get for me as someone who watched both of those movies, happening to be a woman at the same time, shame on me.
dare you.
The subtlety in the way that these women storytellers are telling these stories, and you go, I get it, I relate to that.
Yeah.
And like hearing that voice, even because it doesn't need to scream at you. You know, it doesn't need to scream representation at you. It just needs to like be enough where I'm like, I feel that on a different level than a superhero fan. I feel that on a level as a fan who's also a woman and is seeing this representation in front of me suddenly and going, oh, is this how all my male friends felt when they went to movies? That's crazy.
I mean, it's not the same. It's in a similar vein in this empathetic, pathos, ethos, whatever. Like Cassian Andor in Rogue One, where like, I see this fellow Hispanic person, with an accent when I was, raised to not have one in order for the assimilation thing to work. But to have this choice and just allow it, I mean, I was like, this is great. And so when you see that, I'm sure, like, however somebody feels about that, just just to see if you're female on any spectrum or identifying, and
Yeah.
you see this person who is maybe similar in any way, and you can hold on to that, and it gets you through a moment or it makes you experience another
Yeah.
feeling. Like,
Yeah.
like, why not?
Why not?
And like for me, as someone who is, representing the voice no one needs to hear, like seeing all these movies and getting experiences I'm completely unfamiliar with feels so real and beautiful to me. Like one of my favorite moments in Black Panther, again, it's the slice of life moments, is when the family goes to find T'Challa, and they go to M'Baku, and they bring Martin Freeman's character with them, whose name I'm blanking on, the token white guy.
Right.
And like they're terrified of M'Baku.
Oh,
He's this
I
massive,
know it. It's Watson.
It's Watson, right? He's this massive
Oh, I'm
character,
sorry.
and he's like
Arthur. He forgot his towel.
he
Bilbo.
stop
Got it.
naming characters he's played. And like he's like, wait, what are you gonna do? And he's like, we're gonna eat you. And then like there's the silence, and then and I know I'm misquoting, and then he goes, oh, we're vegetarians. I'm just kidding. Like this great moment that
So
I never
funny.
saw coming.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and those are my favorite moments in the Marvel universe, and there are not enough of them anymore. Like Patrick on Twitter was talking about his rewatch of the first Captain America and how he thinks it's actually better than Winter Soldier. When he reminded me of the grenade scene, I had forgotten it, and when I rewatched it, I went, "This is one of the best scenes in any of the movies,"
Yeah.
because that's a superheroic moment
Right.
before he's even a
The guy
superhero.
that's
Oh, yeah.
92 pounds.
Yeah, and he just jumps on the grenade, like
He's
that whole
throwing
scene.
his arm like, get away, get
Right.
away.
Yeah, and like, and then Haley Atwell, just that smirk. It's like,
Also, brilliant comedy editing there. Like
Yeah.
brilliant beats.
Yeah.
You've got Tommy Lee Jones just really saying, I don't think he's the guy.
Yeah.
That other guy is the guy because he's passed every test. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci's like, yeah, but there's something else in it. Like you're gonna see it soon enough. Boom, grenade moment. Cut back to Tommy Lee and Stanley Tucci, and it's just like, oh, and then,
It's so good.
And Stanley
With
Tucci's
no-
like, there it is. There's
Yeah.
the thing. It's for you.
Stanley
Oh,
Tucci in
mwah.
that movie, I forgot about him also until a recent rewatch. Like the scene where they're sitting on the bed the day before the procedure, and he's drinking, and he's like, "Oh, do you want? Oh, you can't have this. You're having a
procedure
procedure."
tomorrow.
He's so good, and his death is one of the most heartfelt deaths in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
that was my biggest problem with Infinity War, because we're now a Marvel podcast.
Yeah. Sorry.
It was that most of the deaths didn't have weight, except for Spider-Man, because like that whole scene, I don't want to go, Mrs. Stark, I don't want to go, like that pulls on your heartstrings, but none of the other deaths, like.
Because it's a little boy who's scared, and if you
Right.
can't
Yeah.
feel something at a little boy
But
being
a lot of the
scared-
other deaths, like when Bucky falls, it's sad. Like that moment is played fairly well, and like when T'Challa disappears, like the look on Okoye's face, like that is really heartfelt. But like even the Vision death isn't really. A lot of them just feel kind
I
of
was like, that's
cheap.
messed up. I was.
Yeah, a lot of them I was just
more
angry,
upset.
not
I'm
upset.
like, I need Black Panther too. What's happening?
Yeah.
But no, Gamora being chucked was.
Oh,
I was
awful.
very upset about that.
Because it like
And the moment when you're like, and you realize it at the same time. I mean, it changes with the rewatch,
Right.
You know, because the moment's only good once.
yeah.
But when you're watching it the first time and you're like, oh my God, he does love somebody, and it's you.
Yeah.
And he's prepared to like.
Like
Yeah.
it's a powerful moment, and I understand why they did it to show Thanos' human side, because Gamora's been the through line for that. But the way they did it, even if she comes back afterwards, like when they fix things,
Right.
which she may, it feels so tasteless
Right.
in that
no,
moment.
It's a gratuitous moment.
And which is a bummer. Like I feel like there could have been so many other ways they could have had that emotional moment between the two of them,
Right.
without just tossing
Right.
her
No,
aside.
I felt it, but the same feeling that I thought was more genuine was when, Chris Pratt, or I'm sorry, Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
That's
Yes.
fine.
Finally
We all know.
has that moment where he's, finally decided he's going to pull the trigger on Gamora.
And
it's
the
the
bubbles.
And
And
I
the
was just
bubbles.
like...
That was done
and
really
so,
well.
Right, so you feel that moment. That was much better where I
Yeah.
felt that. Some of the other stuff was...
Yeah.
was just
Or
like
even when
how-
he's
yeah.
yelling at Thanos, when they're trying so hard to subdue
Right.
him, like you feel his anger there, but a lot of it falls kind of flat. Like like what I do like about the Endgame trailer, which I told myself I was going to watch, and I broke down. I recently watched the scene with Tony on the ship by himself talking to Pepper.
Right.
That's a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Especially considering he was the launching ship of these movies.
Right.
And like, I don't know this for a fact, so it's not a spoiler, but I'm pretty confident he's dying in Endgame. If he does, that's going to be brutal. You know, same for Steve Rogers or any of the original Avengers. If they go, like, that's going to be rough as a fan because they're the backs the series was built on. And I won't be mad that they're gone, but that'll have some impact. But I want those moments to be earned. If Tony just gets off somewhere, it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be some weight to these deaths. And what a lot of comic movies have done in the past is there wasn't those weights. Like, we're talking about the first two Spider-Man movies. That scene where Willem Dafoe dies when the glider kills him. But that last-minute moment where he becomes the Goblin again, you think and then, like, he gets killed by his own glider, and then he brings him back to Harry, and Harry, like, that whole run of stuff, there's so much there.
Right, him trying to get the compassion from Peter, you know, in that kind of father figure-y voice that he's, you know, using, and then
it's a trick, and he still dies, and then he brings him back to Harry because he wants this man to have the proper funeral. Like, it's done so well, and then they waste those moments in the third movie. You know, I still say if that third movie was about Sandman, I would have watched that movie. If it was just a Sandman movie, because
what are there? It's just too many. There were so many people.
well,
There's
Venom
like
doesn't even get named.
characters.
They never call him Venom.
Yeah.
He's just Topher Grace in a symbiote suit.
Yeah.
All right.
Bells.
I think we've waxed
That's the bell.
That's the bell. I think we've waxed eloquent on comic books enough. That's what this episode's about,
There you go.
apparently.
Deal
It's
with
about
it.
modern nerd stuff. Dee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
pleasure.
Steve.
This was a wonderful conversation. Before we do our final shtick, Rachel has some people to thank, as she always does.
Thank you so much to John Presnell for the use of the song Aurora off the album Fair Game featuring Stefan Remble.
Thank you to Katie Bug for our logo. I don't know why I always want to thank my mom for giving birth to me, just because I know that's your line.
You do.
I'm obsessed with your other show.
Thank your parents.
Everyone thanked their
Thank
parents
your
for
parents,
giving birth to them.
You know, and the ones that like raised you. You know,
That's true. There are other people who
not
raised
just
you.
the ones that birthed you, the ones that raised you. Also, thank you so much to our family, the Certain Point of View Podcast Network.
Yes, we are so happy to be a part of that network. Listen to the other shows on the network,
Yeah.
certainpov.com.
Yep.
Also join our Discord server, which you can find on the website. Come chat about movies.
Yeah.
We post our 3-word reviews there, and by
Yeah.
we, I mean Case, who's a mensch. But suggest movies you want us to talk about, or things in the film industry you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, this is an open, casual chat about movies, and we're really happy to take on anything you guys want to
It's
hear.
true. Also, start listening to the other movie podcast on Certain Point of View called Movie News and Reviews.
Yes.
For reasons. I don't know.
For reasons.
For reasons.
But it's hosted by Hans, the Real Movie Critic, and Addie Thomas of Certain Point of View. They usually review a movie, whatever the current movie is that came out that week, or one of them, and then talk about news in the movie scene. That's not just nerdy movie news, but just movie news in general.
Just news stuff.
To go listen to that. But yeah, check out the whole site. There's so many
Yeah.
podcasts there running the gamut of all sorts of awesome nerdy topics.
Yeah. So do those things. And thank you so much, Certain Point of View. Now, to the question at hand.
Yes, the question.
D. This is your time to dig deep into your soul,
This question gets bigger every episode.
to your very cinematic experience limit.
Oh.
You only get one. That's it.
Okay.
Only one. People have been doing two, and I'm not gonna have it anymore.
Okay.
If you had one, just one movie trope to be true in your life, what movie trope would that be?
Since my socks and my mouth turned this into a Marvel podcast, that Wakanda is peak civilization.
Like that we could just live in Wakanda.
Absolutely, that there is just this sub-Saharan African country that is just brimming with technological advances and leadership and knowledge that can benefit humankind, especially in the current dark days that we exist in. Absolutely.
All right.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, Secret World, come save us now. Make it happen.
Please, we
Please,
want to be
Secret
rescued.
World. We are doing such a bad job.
It's a terrible job.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, as always, for listening.
Yeah.
If you want to interact with us on the internet, we are on Twitter at @screen_snark. You can write us screensnark@gmail.com.
Can we have that email?
We do have that
Did not
email
know.
that we barely use. You can find us on Facebook. Give us a like. Write us a review there or on iTunes or on your podcast platform of choice.
Yeah.
Every review we get helps us to get featured on whatever the prospective platform is, so more wonderful people like you can listen to our show.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon, for...
Thank you, Rachel Quirky-Shank.
Oh, I love that this is a two-hander. Like,
two-hander.
it's a movie
It's a
reference.
movie.
It's a buddy cop
We're
podcast.
the Buddy Cop podcast.
But not cops, though.
No.
we're bye, people. We're leaving.
It's time to go. We'll see you in the movies.